All right, guys, today is going to be the Chapter 2 review, and the joke for the day is this. What did Tarzan say when he saw the elephants coming? All right, here we go. Guys, first off, we're going to be taking decimals to fractions. So to do a decimal to a fraction, all you guys have to do is know your place values. That's the key. This 6 is in the hundredth spot. So this is going to be -4 as a whole number, and then that's going to be 86. And since it's in the hundreds, it's over 100. Then we have to see if it reduces. 86 and 100, does 2 go into both of those? You betcha it does. So you're going to end up dividing both by 2. You'll get -4, and that will be 43 over 50. So does 2 go into both 43 and 50? Nope. Does 3 go into both 43 and 50? Nope. Does 5 go into both 43 and 50? Nope. So it's probably reduced. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. On this one right here, we have to order these from least to greatest. First, we want to put them all in decimal form. So if you guys take the time to turn it to the right and divide, I can let you guys do that. It'd be 3 on the inside, 8 on the outside. You guys can do the work. But what it comes out to be is 0.375. Then from there, we can actually compare everything. So the smallest number is obviously going to be the negative. So you have -3.56. The next smallest will be the one without any whole number in front of it, so that's going to be the 3/8. Then you guys will go ahead and you'll look, okay, you got a 4. The pi is 3.14159. And then you have 3. So we're going to go ahead and when we're looking at this, 3.0 is smaller than 3.14159, so 3 is going to be next. Then you have pi, the 3.14159, and then finally the 4 and 72 hundredths. So you guys will then write 4.72. All right, that would be least to greatest. Let's go to the next one. On the next one, you guys have 3/4 plus a -3/5. Guys, you go ahead and you set this up. You put 3/4 and -3/5 vertically. Then you guys get a common denominator of 20 in this case. Oops, sorry. From there, you guys say 4 times what gets you to 20? That's 4 times 5, so 3 times 5 is 15. Then 5 times 4 gets you to 20, so 3 times 4 is going to give you -12 here. That is different sign subtract. That'll be 3/20. The bigger sign is positive, so this is a positive 3/20. Next one. On this one, again, we set them up vertically. Notice that it is different signs subtract. So in this case, we do put the quote-unquote bigger one when we're not looking at the signs. 3 and 3/8 is bigger than 1 and 1/6 when we're not looking at the signs. So we put that one on the top. And then you have 1 and 1/6. The common denominator here, you guys could use 48, or you guys could use the least common denominator of 24. Either way, it will work out just fine. I'm going to use the 24 here. So you guys do 8 times 3 is going to be 24. 3 times 3 is 9. Then you guys go ahead and you do 6 times 4 is 24. 1 times 4 is 4. At this point, it is different signs subtract. 9 minus 4 is 5 out of 24. And 3 minus 1 is going to be 2. So your answer should have been 2 and 5/24, but the bigger sign is negative, so the answer is -2 and 5/24. Next one. On this one right here, again, we need to set it up vertically. This is same signs add and keep, so we know that the answer will be negative at the end, because they're both negative. So in this case, we go ahead, we get a common denominator. Oops. And the denominator is the same, unfortunately. Let me quick change that. Sorry. Let's make this a 4th here. That's my fault. And we'll make this one right here a 4th. I apologize for that. Either way, so now when we go ahead and do this, we see same signs add and keep. The common denominator could be 24, or in this case, it really is the least is 12. And so we go ahead and we do 4 times 3 is going to be 12. 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 2 is 12, so 5 times 2 is 10. Now, that is same signs add and keep, so we'll get 13 over 12, and then 2 plus 1 is 3, and it's negative. But we don't want to leave it like this. So we go ahead and we say 12 goes into 13 one time, so now it's -4, and there's going to be 1 left over, so it's going to be -4 and 1/12. Let's go to the next one. On the next one, it's adding and subtracting decimals. So you go ahead, you line up the decimal, it's different sign subtract, you put the bigger one on the top. So when you guys do that, you will borrow. Decimal comes straight down, and you get 1.3. The bigger sign's positive, so it's a positive 1.3. Next one. On this one, you guys go from left to right because it's all addition and subtraction. So at first, I have different signs subtract. So 10.6 minus 2.4 will get me 8.2. Then I have 8.2, and I still have a minus a negative, which is really plus a positive. So then I just add 3.8 on that, and I end up getting 12.0. And it's positive because the bigger sign, or the same signs I had to keep at that point. Let's go to the next one. All right, so on this one, you guys have to go ahead and you're multiplying fractions. When you multiply fractions, you want to make sure any whole numbers get changed into an improper fraction. So you guys have negative 2/5 times, this will be negative 5 over 1. You guys multiply straight across the top. That's going to get you guys a positive 10. And straight across the bottom will get you a positive 5. 10 and 5 both reduced by 5. So that will get you a 2 over 1, which is really just 2. Let's go to the next one. On this one, again, you make them improper. So you have to do times on the bottom, add the top. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So you get negative 9 over 4 times. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So you get 16 over 5. When you guys go ahead then, you can multiply straight across the top. And in that case, 9 times 16 is going to be 144 over 20 on the bottom, and it will be negative. You do have to reduce. So when you divide them both by 2, 144 divided by 2 is going to be 72. And then you'll have 10 on the bottom. You divide both of those by 2 again, and you'll end up getting 36 over 5. And then you have to say how many times does 5 go into 36. That'll be 7 times. So you have negative 7, and there'll be 1 left over. So negative 7 and 1/5. Let's go to the next one. On this one, you guys go ahead. You have negative 3.2 times 0.25. I tell you guys, leave the decimals alone. Just put 32 times 25. We'll plug them in at the end, okay? 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Add the 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is going to be 6. So you guys go ahead, add them up, and you end up getting 800. In this case, there is 1, 2, 3 numbers behind the decimals when we plug it back in. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3 numbers behind the decimal. And then there's 1 negative in the problem. And 1 negative in multiplication division is negative. So it's negative 8/10 is really what that is. So yeah, we're good on that. Let's go to the next one. On this one, we have dividing fractions. Man, I've heard dividing fractions is easy as pie. Hey, how about we flip the second to multiply? So we go ahead and do that. When we flip the second one, we now have negative 3 over 2, and we're going to multiply. So at this point, multiply straight across the top. You end up getting a positive 12. Across the bottom, you get a 10. And then you guys can reduce that by 2, and you get 6 over 5. 5 goes into 6 one time, and there's 1 left over. So it's 1 1/5, and it's positive. Next one. On this one, you do have to divide. Guys, the first one goes on the inside. You know the answer is going to be negative because of 1 negative. So you have 9.45, and then you know the answer is negative, and you have 4.2. Now, you can't divide by a decimal on the outside, so you have to move it over 1. If you move that one over 1, you move this one over 1 and take it straight up. Now, 42 goes into 94. That's going to be 2 times. 2 times 42 is 84. Subtract, you get 10. Bring down the 5. And then you go ahead. How many times does 42 go in the 105? That'll be 2 times again. 2 times 42 is 84. Subtract, you'll end up getting 21. Add a 0, bring it down. How many times does 42 go into 210? That would be 5 times. 5 times 42 is 210. So you guys end up with nothing left. It's negative 2.25. On this one, what are the square roots of 49? Guys, what number times itself makes 49? Oh, that's 7. And you could have a second one. It'd be negative 7. I'm really going to just look for the positive, though. Okay, what number times itself is a square root? Next one. On this one, evaluate the square root of 6 to the second power. In this case, you do everything on the inside of the square root sign. So that's going to be the square root of 36. 6 to the second is 36. So what number times itself makes 36? Oh, that's 6. We're done. Next one. On this one, you buy a hamburger for $14.82 and a bottle of Mrs. Eaton repellent for $9.64. How much more did the hamburger cost than the Mrs. Eaton repellent? All you're doing is subtracting your decimals, guys, because you're comparing the two and you want to see how much more one costs than the other. So when you subtract these, you will do some borrowing. You'll get 8, a 1, decimal comes straight down. 14 minus 9 is 5, so you end up getting $5.18. All right, that should be it for today. So the joke for the day is this. Woohoo, we're there. What did Tarzan say when he saw the elephants coming? Well, he said this. Here comes the elephants. All right, that's it. Have a great day, guys.